You drop 30 bucks on a premium tour glove just because your favorite pro wears it on TV. But you're not a pro. 3 sweaty weekend rounds later, it's crusted over, ripped at the palm, completely ruined, and you're out 30 bucks. Today, we're looking at the 5 best golf gloves under $15 to stop the bleeding. And later in this explainer, I'll show you the one thing most buyers never check, and it costs them every time.
So, does price actually matter when it comes to your grip, or are you just paying for a flashy logo? Answering this is going to keep 20 bucks in your pocket every single time you need to restock. This is exactly where most golfers waste mine. You walk into the pro shop right before your tee time, you panic, and you just grab whatever has a recognizable brand name on the front. But that panic buy adds up fast over a single summer. Here's the real money problem. Golf gloves aren't just a one-and-done purchase. You sweat through them, you accidentally leave them strapped to the steering wheel of the cart, they get completely soaked in the rain. Everyday golfers waste so much cash falling for tour marketing, buying that expensive premium cabretta leather. But that incredibly soft material gets absolutely shot in just a couple of weeks for a weekend golfer. It dries out, gets crispy, and boom, you're right back at the pro shop buying another one and another.
But you've got to be smart about this. The cheaper option is not always worse. Here is the catch. A lot of guys will just grab any cheap glove strictly because it's on the discount rack. They don't check the fit, they end up with the wrong size, it bags at the fingertips, or it twists right at the top of every single swing, which completely ruins your confidence over the ball. When you go budget, fit is absolutely everything. Otherwise, you're just throwing a $10 bill straight in the trash.
So what actually makes a glove worth the money for us weekend hackers? Honestly, it's not a buttery soft tour feel. It's raw durability and a grip that doesn't quit. Cabretta leather gives you that amazing soft feel, sure, but it wears out way faster and requires you to actually take care of it. Synthetic options, they're tougher, they're cheaper, and they last way longer when your hands start sweating in the thick summer heat. That's a crucial distinction you've got to know before opening your wallet.
All right, let's get into the list. First up, the FootJoy WeatherSof. This is your absolute everyday workhorse. It's fully synthetic, meaning it's built to last through plenty of sweaty rounds, and the grip stays totally solid even on those brutally humid days. The real weakness here? It completely lacks that premium softness of real cabretta leather. It can feel a little thick. Buy this if you want one incredibly durable glove to last you a massive chunk of the season. Skip it if you absolutely demand that ultra-premium second skin leather feel. Number 2, we've got the Callaway Spann. This is a fantastic pick if you want a synthetic glove that feels much closer to genuine leather. The overall comfort is absolutely incredible for under 15 bucks. It genuinely tricks your hand into thinking it's premium. But here's the honest weakness on this one. The Velcro closure can sometimes wear out and lose its stick way before the palm actually does. Buy it for the top-tier comfort, but just skip it if you see the retail price creeping up near 20 bucks, because then the value just vanishes. We're moving into the real leather category now, and honestly, most buyers skip this and regret it later. You have to check prices carefully when hunting for a deal on real cabretta. The prices fluctuate wildly online and in local big box stores, and you do not want to accidentally overpay for a budget tier leather. Finding a true leather glove under $15 takes a sharp eye, but when you find it, you need to know exactly what you're trading away for that lower price tag. This brings us to number 3, the TaylorMade Tour Preferred. This actually delivers that pro-level, incredibly soft cabretta feel. If you can somehow find it for under 15 bucks on sale, it is a massive value pick. But the weakness is very real. Leather degrades exceptionally fast, especially in hot, humid weather. You literally have to take it off between shots to let it air dry. Buy it if you find it cheap and want the feel, but skip it entirely if you play in absolute heat, sweat heavily, and tend to leave your glove on for putting.
Remember that tease from earlier, the one thing most buyers never check? Well, here it is, cadet sizing. This is a specific glove fit designed purely for wider hands with shorter fingers. A lot of guys keep buying standard sizes, they get a terrible fit with floppy, baggy fingers, and then they wrongly blame the brand when the club slips. Before you buy another glove, you need to measure your hand and check if you actually need a cadet size. It seriously saves so much frustration and wasted cash.
Number 4 on our list is the zero friction compression fit, specifically leaning into their multi-packs. Look, if you're notorious for losing gloves, this is the absolute cheapest way to ensure you always have a snug grip ready to go in your bag. The strength here is pure bulk value. You get a whole stack for cheap. The weakness? The fit runs very, very snug, and the overall feel is totally basic. Buy this purely for the multi-pack value, but skip it completely if you're dead set on genuine leather. And number 5, the MG Golf Dynasty or Glide series.
This is hands down the best way to get real cabretta leather on a severely tight budget. You get that amazing, genuine leather feel, often for well under $15 shipped directly to your door. But the major weakness? The sizing runs a little different than the major established brands. You must check their specific size chart before ordering. Buy this for budget cabretta, but skip it if you demand perfectly consistent sizing across different brands every single time you buy. Now, if buying used, this next point matters a lot. On this explainer, we talk about buying used clubs and bags all the time to save massive amounts of money. But when it comes to golf clubs, the explicit rule is to never ever buy them used. There's no real used market for gloves anyway, and trust me, you do not want someone else's sweaty, stretched out hand-me-down. A glove is a personal wear item that conforms to your hand only. Always buy new, just buy smart. Let's run through the smartest ways to stop wasting cash on your grip. 1, like we just said, never buy used. 2, fit matters way more on a budget, so check the size charts because they change wildly between brands. 3, buy 2 or 3 gloves and rotate them during the round instead of grinding one into the dirt. And 4, match the material to your sweat levels. Rotating synthetic gloves in the dead of summer will dramatically extend their life. Simple, honest, and wildly practical advice to save you a few bucks. Before you buy, you need to hear this next part. The absolute biggest mistake weekend golfers make is grabbing the very cheapest option on the pro shop rack without checking the pros and cons of the fit or the material. Doing that turns a seemingly good deal into a terrible deal immediately, because you'll just end up throwing it away after 3 holes when it starts slipping. You have to understand the trade-offs of the budget bin. Let's be totally honest about those trade-offs of going budget. On the plus side, cheap gloves are super easy to replace, you get a consistently reliable grip, and they're absolutely fantastic for beginners or guys who chronically leave gear in the back of the cart. But on the downside, the absolute cheapest models will wear out fast, sizing is a complete guessing game between brands, and you simply will not get that pro-level buttery softness from a $10 glove. It's just the trade you have to make for the savings. So the crucial point is figuring out exactly what fits your specific game. If you want reliable, everyday durability that won't quit on you, the FootJoy WeatherSof is your perfect pick. If you really want leather but have a tight wallet, grab the MG Golf. And if you're a bulk buyer on a strict budget who just wants raw grip so the club doesn't fly out of your hands, go with zero friction. Match the option right to your specific game, your sweat levels, and your wallet. Now, this next part changes the final answer completely. True value isn't just the price per glove printed on the cardboard tag. If a budget glove costs $10 but only lasts 2 total rounds before ripping at the seams, it's an absolute ripoff. True value is actually found in the price per round. You want the glove that costs you the fewest pennies every time you step up to the tee box. And that brings us to the ultimate verdict. This is the definitive best value move you can possibly make. Buying and rotating 2 incredibly durable FootJoy WeatherSofs will give you way more rounds of golf than grinding one single expensive $30 tour glove into the dirt. For the exact same $30, you get a reliable, synthetic grip that won't crust up, won't rip at the palm, and legitimately lasts the entire season. That is the budget hat. That's how you play better without overspending. But ask yourself this next time you're standing at the pro shop counter. Are you buying a glove to actually lower your score? Or are you just paying for a flashy logo? Drop a comment below with your budget, your handicap, your current glove, and whether you prefer new or used gear. If this explainer saved you some cash today, hit subscribe for more honest budget golf gear advice. Keep your drive straight, and I'll see you out on the course.